Member for Narungga.
Finally, Mr. Speaker, thank you. My question is to the Minister for Education. Will the government compensate business that has lost income due to the ban on school aquatic camps? And with your leave and that of the House, I'll explain.
If you sort of granted. Member for Narungga.
Mark and Sharon Hayden of Port Vincent Caravan Park lost $30,000 worth of bookings yesterday alone. Mark Short from Port Vincent Aquatics has 20 casual staff who won't be paid after next week thanks to cancellations.
Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Speaker, and I thank the member for the question. And as I said yesterday, after the decision had been made on Friday afternoon of last week, under what I must say were difficult circumstances given the attack that occurred at Port Noarlunga. And on that day, the public education system had 3 schools that were in the water at Port Noarlunga. It was Forbes, Seacliff and Ranella East, I believe. Some of those students witnessed the rescue of the shark attack victim, and I'm told that some of our staff were involved in the rescue as well. So there were obviously some concerns from schools and parents whose children and students were booked in Monday morning to go back to the beach and continue or start their lessons, and the department fielding calls from the schools asking for advice around what they should do. And it was in that context the decision was made. I think I've made my position, and the Chief Executive and Premier have made our positions pretty clear that there should have been a lot more consideration around how that decision was made. And we have responded pretty quickly, including an excellent announcement, I think, from the Minister for Emergency Services around bringing shark patrols forward on a daily basis starting this Saturday. We convened a group that involves a number of...
Order. Order. The member for Hurdle Vale is warned, and the member for Hartley must be on a 10th warning. In any case, the Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. So we have very quickly, in addition to the announcement by the Minister of Shark Patrols being brought forward, convened a panel that has members including the Emergency Services Shark Patrol Unit, Surf Living SA and PIRSA. They met for the first time yesterday. We have asked for a decision or a review of that announcement made on Friday as quickly as possible. I am confident that we'll have that in the next 24 hours, and as soon as I have it, we will communicate that as broadly as we can to schools. I am hopeful, if not confident, that that decision will be that we can get students back in the water hopefully as early as next week, as soon as possible. I have spoken to, in relation to the member's specific question around the impact that this might have had on caravan parks or tourism providers in some areas. Happy to learn some more details. I've spoken to the department around reaching out to some of the excursion and camp providers who have been quite vocal in their position regarding the decision that was made, to learn what the impacts might be on them, and we can take it from there. So I'm very happy to have further conversations with you, but my focus has been in the last 48 hours on doing everything that we can to make sure we can look those parents in the eye who did have a bit of concern given the attack on Friday and say, it's safe, things are fine, there might be a few other risk mitigation things that the department decides to put in place, which might be in some areas some more staff, just to make sure we can observe our students and other staff appropriately. But we will hopefully be able to communicate a decision on that very quickly. Very happy to meet with you and talk a bit more to understand any impacts there might have been on any businesses in your local area.
Very well. Supplementary. Member for Morialta.
Who is the decision maker in relation to the announcement of the review that the Minister said would be likely in the next 24 hours? And who is the decision maker in relation to the member for Narunga's question about compensation for businesses?
Minister.
Well, I didn't say there would be compensation, so I'm not sure. So I said I'd be happy to sit down with the member and learn a bit more about what impact there might have been. So I just said that. I'm not sure.
Well, I think that the minister is either
question literally makes no sense.
May have concluded his answer.
No sense. I'm sorry.
Order.
Yeah.
Order.
Yep.
Order. Order. Minister, you do not need to respond to interjections. You may continue your answer. Order. The Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. In relation to the first part of the member from Morialta's question, I understand when the decision had been made in the department around a pause on those aquatic activities, it was also communicated at the time that there would be a review. Now, post that decision, the Chief Executive and I together decided that that review should obviously be brought forward as soon as possible, and to make sure that it had some of those key stakeholders that I referred to before, Mr Speaker, Emergency Services Shark Patrol Unit, Surf Life Saving SA and PIRSA on it, and asked that it give advice to the Chief Executive and to me as soon as possible so that we can communicate what I am hoping will be, and am confident will be, a decision that we can get our students back into the water as soon as possible to make sure that they do learn those really, really important skills about being safe in the ocean.
Member